Okay, and we're back this time, okay, with another stream about Geek Night, and we're gonna talk about OreImo this time, okay? The full name is Ore no Imouto wa Konna ni Kawaii Wake ga nai, okay? But since it's too long, people call it OreImo, okay? This is another just a side note is that Japanese really need to uh stop making the title so long, okay? Because like nowadays most animes, although this anime is quite, it's already quite old, 10 years or so, something like that. Okay. But I kind of get annoyed with it because that or that anime titles, they are like basically a paragraph long, okay? And the I wish that they will just shorten it, okay? Like for example, like Doctor Stone, okay? Doctor Stone, Boku no Hero Academia is a bit long, but it's still acceptable. But for example, like this anime, Ore no Imouto wa Konna ni Kawaii Wake ga nai, it's long, but it's not too long. There are worse offenders, okay? So I wish that they would not keep on coming up with this kind of long titles, okay? This is just a minor annoyance that I have, okay, so that aside, okay, today we're going to talk about OreImo, but before that, just allow me to check the volume, whether it's working or not. Today we're going to talk about OreImo, okay? Okay, so it seems that the volume is working. Okay, now for those that don't know OreImo, okay, OreImo is quite a famous anime series, okay, because I think this is like, I wouldn't say this is the first tsundere. I would say like this is like the tsundere is like, I would say like OreImo is like kind of like extend the tsundereness, or basically like show off more to the general public. I would say general public, to the anime community. Okay, now, okay, so OreImo, the show, okay, the anime, okay, the anime originally is from a light novel, okay. It starts off with the Kirino family, okay, where Kyosuke is the, okay, as you can see, is the big brother here. Found out that his sister, then this girl over here, is an otaku and is secretly hoarding anime and ero goods, okay. Because he found an eroge in the house, okay. So I was a bit shocked by it, and later on found that because his family, there's 4 people, okay, both of them, okay, and a mother and father, okay. So the father is like the very strict kind of guy, so most probably he's out, like like he's trying to deduce who's the one having. And then after that, it is the mother. The mother is like, a housewife, and it's kind of, I wouldn't say that she always goes out, but she's kind of active and chatting with the other housewife. So basically, the only person that he thinks could could own this thing is actually Kirino, and it turns out that found that out, and it is kind of surprised. The reason why it is a surprise for him, it is because her sister, okay, okay, is a perfect student, okay. She's smart, okay, and I wouldn't say she's extremely athletic, okay, but she have a certain level of athletic. But the thing is that what put her on top is that she's also working as a model, okay, okay, for some magazine or something like that, okay. And remember, she's still in middle school, high school, forget. I think it's middle school, okay. So she is like, if you think about the packing order in in school, okay, you have the jockeys, you have the the cool kids, okay, the party kids, all of that. Okay, so without a doubt, okay, Kirino, she's with the basically on the topper, the higher hierarchy. Okay, as you in every school, most probably like those people who are on the lower hierarchy is probably like those like geeks like us, okay, who basically like play video games, board games and stuff. Okay, so we are on the opposite side of of the popularity scale, and when that's why he couldn't believe, because she is the opposite of that of the person who actually enjoy this kind of thing. Okay, because there is a stigma about otaku culture. Okay, so that's why you know um that's why because like I said, the father is a very strict person, the mother is a housewife. Okay, maybe the mother could be, but the thing is that she always goes out like shop, like grocery shopping and this, so that's why uh both the parents are taken out. So he couldn't believe it. Okay, so and then the plot of the story um is that Kyosuke, okay, after found out the secret, okay, Kirino threatens him to help with her hobby, okay, because remember she enjoys anime, she enjoys eroge stuff, okay, so but if you ask me, I think she got it backwards, okay. It's a good thing that Kyosuke is a good guy, okay, but think about it, okay. Kyosuke is the one who found out her secret, and her secret is basically something that he can hold it against her. But instead of he used that, okay, do as I say, like for example, like since you're working as a model, give me a cut of your salary. Okay, he can do that. Okay, but he let himself being pushed around by her. Okay, but so in a sense that if even if Kirino tries to like, okay, say that who are they going to believe, okay, uh owns this thing, okay, me the popular student or you as an average guy. So without a doubt he can do that, but if he tried to bring both of them down, okay, she cannot have she can't have her hobby anymore, okay. So without a doubt, the power should be in Kyosuke, but he listened to her to his little sister's request, and put up with it, okay, even though that she's very harsh with him sometimes, okay. So yeah, okay, and okay, so she asked Kyosuke to help with her hobbies, okay, so because the thing is that she have to keep the hobby a secret, okay, because until now she haven't told anybody about this secret, okay, so she doesn't have anybody to share, she just share it alone, so she does feel a bit lonely, okay, and so she asked, okay, if I'm not wrong, at first she actually asked him to get into the hobby so that she can have somebody to talk to, but he's not that into it, okay, so at the end, what Kyosuke did was try to find some otaku friends for her to hang out. Okay, and she did. Okay, as you can see, okay, in this picture here, she made two otaku friends. Okay, Kuroneko and Saori. And the thing is that both of them, okay, they love their otaku culture. Okay, but um compared to the high spec of Irino, who is a model on top and a top student, okay, so there is like a barrier, but they can put that aside and just focus on their otaku culture. They don't judge, okay. Both of them, they don't judge her based on that, okay, because they know what's more important is the hobby, and because of that, okay, because of they can share with each other. Okay, they don't care much about her social status. Okay, as like the popular girl or whatever. Okay, instead they're just focusing on their hobbies. Okay, you know even though they might get into a fight sometimes. Okay, but still they share both of their all of their hearts into the same thing, which means like enjoying anime stuff. Okay, and with that she Kirino had a new world open to her because up until now she enjoyed it alone, and now she have otaku friends that she can enjoy with, talk with. Okay, and that's what uh makes makes it enjoyable. Okay, for you can see from her perspective. But remember, this story is told by Kyosuke lens. Okay, but the thing is that when we focus from Kyosuke perspective, is that we got like um we keep on seeing Kirino always being harsh to Kyosuke, but the thing is that it's the reason why she has to be that harsh is because she doesn't know how to uh I will say doesn't know how. She's a bit shy to open up to Kyosuke. Okay, that's why Kyosuke, who's trying to be a good big brother, try indulges her, and always try to protect her. Okay, like a good brother should. Okay, and even though after she made friends, okay, but still that doesn't solve the problem, which is that the stigma is still there. Okay, even if she make even if her social circle is like open up a bit, so like branching off to the otaku side a bit, but the society still have that stigma there. Okay, and this doesn't help much because okay her best friend, her best friend is also a model like her. Okay, basically, also a good student. Okay, and she hates otaku related stuff. Okay, so we're like, she thinks that anybody who loves otaku stuff, anime, manga, eroge, all of them should die. She literally have that level of hatred towards anything otaku related. Okay, and of course, there's at some point Kirino uh uh wants to tell the family and friends about that, but still, okay, seeing how her best friend reacted to when she asked, "Hey, what do you feel about anime and stuff?" And she said, "Oh, everybody should die." Okay, and that's what made you know harder to come out. Okay, but in a sense, when she asked that question to her best friend, okay, Ayase, okay, she you know deep down she will know sooner or later the secret is gonna come out, but she still want to hold on to her friendship with her as long as she could. Okay, now it's not the friend. Okay, Ayase, she's the personification of the stigma that people all have towards otaku. Okay, but that doesn't mean that she's the only one. Okay, because later on the father found out about there's a there's an arrow game in the house. Okay, and at that moment is that um the father was confronting Kirino. Okay, was confronting Kirino about this, and she's basically being grilled. Okay, and uh when that happened, Kyosuke actually defended him. This is like one of the highlights for season one. There's two seasons of it. Okay, and that was such a emotional moment, because the thing that the father saying like, why do you have this? Okay, talking to Kirino about this. Okay, and she's having a hard time to deal with it. Okay, even though it's for her, the worst thing that could happen to a teenage girl is like her social life is ruined. Even though this is not a level of work which is that the family found out. Okay, but it's still pretty dire. Okay, and but for Kyosuke, this is the worst thing because the father is the one who supports. Okay, so he have to make a choice at that moment. Okay, when he saw Kirino getting grilled, basically seeing her hobbies being trampled like that. Kyosuke, even though he's not interested in it, but since he saw how much how much Kirino enjoys having fun with the otaku friends, okay, talking about it, okay, even though he doesn't have much interest in it, okay, at that point, he acted like a big brother did, and he actually protected Kirino from the father, okay. This is what happened, okay? So you can see, yeah, you were in your sister's room using your sister's computer to play a game about doing innocent things to your sister. So like he did, so he confronted the father with this, and they were like, you can imagine, she tried to cover up for Kirino about that, and when I watched it, I'm like, oh my god, best bro for life, okay, because he think about it, playing a computer in the sister's room about incest is like that level is just a bit too much for me, okay. And he did that because he knows that how much she treasured Kirino, how much Kirino treasures her hobbies and also her social life, okay. So like, okay, fine, if I'm going to be treated like garbage in the family from now on, at least at least she's still happy, okay. And that's really admirable, okay. Now all of this brings to the idea of the pressure to conform, okay, because earlier on I mentioned that Kirino is considered as a perfect student, okay, excels in academic, okay. As a student, you're supposed to focus on studies, okay, but social life as well, since think about it, since she is a model, okay, without a doubt, okay. If I'm not wrong, by the when this story was written, okay, we still don't have smartphone. Well, either we have smartphones, but it's still it's still gaining traction, okay. Like Twitter and stuff is not that popular at the time. Maybe Facebook was the most popular, okay. But think about it, if this story is set in this day and age, okay, you would imagine that the pressure is like maybe 100 times harder, because thing is that when you're a model, without a doubt you're gonna be, oh blue blood, okay, welcome, okay. Now talking a bit about OreImo, okay, and okay, so this, okay, now I'm talking about the troubles that OreImo have, okay, and that Kirino, she's having trouble to hide her hobbies and stuff, okay, but okay, the okay, because she is a model, okay, and she needs to to be social, as a normal teenage girl should, okay, that is more of a reason for her to keep her hobby as a secret, okay. And remember, even though she likes she also enjoys anime, okay. Edo game for her is like say escape from reality, okay, from the pressure being being a good student, being okay, being a model, okay, keeping up with her lifestyle. So okay, other than that, the only people that is willing to accept Kirino for who she really is Kyosuke and the friends that just now we were talking about. Okay, and I've talked about this in previous Geek Night streams that otaku culture is not that well. If even even internationally, people don't look kindly to ero games. Okay, ero games, but anime, if you ask me, it's I wouldn't say it is very popular, but in international community, anime is like, okay, you oh, if I were him, I would definitely expose to my sister. What do you mean? If I were him, I definitely expose to my sister. Is that okay, remember Kyosuke is just talking about Kyosuke who and Kirin, okay? Both of them. Um if if you ask me that um there is there is there is an urge for me to expose her as well. But the thing is that because she's acting tsundere, she's being harsh, yeah. But you know, think about it. She have to keep up, being the good student, uh, being the good student, and uh, also with the modeling, also need to keep up her figure and stuff. Okay, there's a lot of pressure for her. Okay, and she and Kyosuke, the brother, realizes that she treasure her hobby, and that's why he's willing to sacrifice his position in the family, and of course after he he confronted the father with this. Okay, of course afterwards the family is treating him like, oh my god, look, our son is turning to be a loser. He's willing to to bear that burden. Okay, because remember Kyosuke, he's not an otaku, he's just a regular guy. Okay, maybe he has some passing interest, just watching a couple of things, but he's not into it. Okay, if you ask me, if if this thing doesn't happen, most probably he's just like going to go to university, have a standard job whatsoever. But since his father, okay, I forgot what the father's job is. Okay, if I'm not wrong, maybe a police officer. Okay, I can't remember that well. Okay, but still, okay, he's basically going to be ostracized after that. Okay, and that's why there's more reasons for Kirino to conform to that pressure. Okay, since in Japan the stigma for otaku is much more harder because you know in Japan, okay, we there's of course there's a lot of eroge that is translated to English, but that's only a small portion of it. Okay, every month there's like at least around 10 eroges released every month. Okay, and people would actually line up, okay, or at least pre-order them or something like that. Okay, and all of this stuff, okay, uh you know having abundance in aero games, okay, people would extremely have stigma towards it. Okay, and not to mention, if you are a Japanese otaku, you are more inclined to spend your money on anime goods. So for example, like figurines. Okay, I love anime. Okay, I love manga. Okay, I don't see the need to buy the figurines. Okay, may because in Japan, okay, they have the official goods, and for people like us who live in outside of Japan, you know, we we can't get access to those official goods. Okay, because one thing is that maybe because a shipment problem. Second thing, if you ask me, this will be a bigger problem for you know for me, and if I'm not wrong, even you. Okay, that our currency is not that strong. Okay, so let's say this figurine costs around, who knows, 3,000, 4,000 yen. Okay, or basically around 30 to 40 US dollar. If we're going to convert it to for example my currency, Malaysian ringgit, okay, it's going to cost 4 times. Okay, so basically like $30, 30 to 40 US dollar. It's going to be like 100 plus. Okay, 100 plus in Malaysian ringgit. Okay, and that's also another barrier for us to to get into those otaku rooms when you can see that they have um mountains of Blu-rays, anime, okay, figurines, posters and stuff. Okay, so yeah, but you get the image of the Japanese otaku. They'll spend tons of money on it. Okay, and yeah, that's why people have in Japan, they are harsher towards otaku culture compared to the international the international people community like us. Okay, now next thing is that I want to talk about eroges are not only about age scenes. Okay, so now as you know, I have novel night stream on the weekends where I stream visual novels, ero games. Okay, where I'll be translating them as I play with them. Okay, so most of them I only play the trial version. Okay, because one thing is that I want to respect the developers. Second is that I want to uh cover as much as possible. Okay, and okay, and the thing is about aero game. Okay, maybe people at first play aero game for the age scene. Okay, but later on, okay, just having the age scene, it's kind of boring. Okay, so I I've been playing aero games for more than 10 years right now. Okay, and and I admit I was at first like that. I do this for the age scene, but later on in when I played when I played a bit more and I start to like, hey, I want some story to go along with it. Okay, and slowly, okay, I do admit, okay, I do admit that age scenes are good. Okay, but I do enjoy the story as well. So like, maybe at the end you give me a couple of age scenes and I'll be happy with it. Okay, because it's like if it's like, for example, like a dating or a romance hero game visual novel. Okay, it's like kind of like if we just like end it with for example, like, oh, you start to go out, that's it. It like, I do feel like you're not gonna give me more. Okay, so like a bit of age scenes here and there. Okay, it's kind of like you feel like there's a reward for playing the game until that long. But okay, but not having any, I do feel like it's lacking. Okay, but at the same time, I don't want to be like the moment um the moment you play, it's all about age. That's like, well, that game probably is going to last me like a couple of times. Then I'm done with it and I forget about it. Okay, yeah. So a good aero game will always balance the age scene and also the story part. Okay, and there are some aero games where I feel like, ooh, good age scene. When I get or I when I play the game, I totally expect to have to enjoy the age scene. But the thing is that the story was too good. At the end, I'm like, oh my god, I cried a lot of times. I cried a lot of times about when playing this game, and that level of that level of storytelling, the narration, okay, and the story development and everything. Okay, it's really amazing. Okay, now the thing is that aero games, visual novels, okay, they are in text form. Okay, they can explain further, okay, or go into the story further, okay, compared to other games. Okay, so for example, if you take if one compare to a game that also have age scenes, so for example, you Witcher 3, okay, Witcher 3, because Witcher 3, if you don't think of it as a overly sexualized game, but the thing is there is, okay, but it's like what, less than 5%, maybe 1 to 3%, something like that, but it's still there. Okay, now for video novels, okay, for video novels, most of the time you are not going to get into the age scenes until 80%, throughout the story already. Okay, and you can, that's why like it's a bit unfair to like say, oh, Aero games are just about age scene, and when you say like, you know, these popular games like, oh, Witcher 3, people like totally forget about that part. Okay, and that's what annoys me. Okay, because Witcher 3, they have like a couple of scenes where it's not like a couple of scenes, there's actually a brothel, okay, basically, you know, prostitutes you can go to, okay, and nobody bats an eye. But for when it comes to Aero game, oh, they're heavily, you know, treated as just age scenes. This is what makes me so mad about the, you know, they both have it, but like they don't, the Aero games in general, being the story part is totally like they don't care about it. Okay, so my recommendation, okay, for some Aero games, you know, that will make you forget about will make you totally forget about the age scene. Okay, you just want to enjoy the story, which is both of this here. Okay, this side is the Kyonyu Fantasy. Okay, and this one is Magikoi. Okay, Magikoi is a bit old. Okay, Magikoi is a bit old. Bit, it's not a bit old. It's already 13 years, 14 years. Okay, but it's still worth the play. Okay, it's still worth the play because Magikoi it's basically like school life comedy. Okay, that's the best way for me to explain. And about Magikoi is that each and every single characters, okay, this is the original 5, okay, their story, each route, okay, that you go to, okay, will have different outcome, different route, okay, and you won't feel like the each route is the same. That's the biggest thing, okay, and if I'm not wrong, you can spend around 40 hours, 50 hours, okay, enjoying it. Okay, most of the time you're gonna be laughing, especially when the gangs all together. Okay, where the gang also include a couple of guys, a total of 9 people. Okay, including the protagonist. Okay, they will always like find ways, you know, to get into trouble and joke around and laugh at each other's weaknesses and stuff. Okay, it's very fun. Not to mention that all of the side characters in the story, they are well developed, and they also have sequels. Okay, so they have Magikoi S, Magikoi A, quite a long list of you know, world building there. Okay, but for another one would be Kyonyu Fantasy. Kyonyu Fantasy is that it's also a series. Okay, and it's a bigger series compared to Magikoi. Okay, Kyonyu Fantasy series, okay? If you know Japanese, Kyonyu Fantasy literally translate to big boobs fantasy. Literally translated, okay? But okay, this is another side thing, okay? Another side thing that I'm pissed off at the translators, okay, for this is that Kyonyu Fantasy, okay? The translator actually translate into, let me double check here. Wait, let me double check. Fun bag fantasy. Fun bags. Fun bags. What the heck is a fun bag? Okay? And they're like, and the thing is that okay, I understand that you don't want to be overly overly you know, sexualize the title. But the thing is, okay, I accept if they did it for one, or maybe the company that translated it do it only for one. But since there are a lot of, you know, it's a series, okay, and they continue this for the other you know, series as well, okay. So like Fun Bag Fantasy 1, Fun Bag Fantasy 2, Fun Bag Fantasy 2 if, Fun Bag Fantasy 3 if. So all of this are like, I really can't forgive them, okay? I really can't forgive them. It's just my I would, if you ask me, I would just like, if you just mention Brass Fantasy, I would have no problem with it, okay? But the thing is that they didn't do that, okay? It pisses me off, okay? And okay, forget about me getting angry at the translating company, okay? And the best Kyonyu Fantasy, okay, right now they have four mainline Kyonyu Fantasy, okay? And the one that I recommend would be this one here, okay? This is Kyonyu Fantasy 3 if, okay? It is very, in a sense, it is different from the others. Is because Kyonyu Fantasy, the main idea is about a guy who always who wants to rise to the top, okay? I would say rise to the top. He just wants to have a peaceful life, okay? Like for example, like you give him like an office work, a clerk or whatsoever, and he'll be happy with it, okay? But the thing is that since he take it, so relaxing, he doesn't care so much about becoming the number one, the top guy, okay? So the people on the top, are pissed off at him. Why? Because they're at the best school, go at the best place, okay? But okay, since he's not taking it seriously, okay, the people on top always try to push him to the bottom, even though he's already somewhere in the middle, at close to the bottom. They will like to keep on pushing him down to the bottom, to a bottom that he could never get up, okay? But the protagonist is that even though that he got pushed down, okay, even when people try to trick him, try to backstab him, okay, at the end he's like, okay, he doesn't hold a grudge. He's like, at least as long as I have, at least I can have my food, at least I can have a place to sleep, I'm happy with it, okay? Even if that means he's in prison, he doesn't want to have revenge, okay? So of course, Kyonyu Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, they talk about different people, okay? But the reason why I picked 3 is that 3 for me is the best because it involves mythology, okay? That this one, it talks about the main character is a god, okay, and there's a lot of other gods as side characters, okay, and they are from ancient Roman gods, okay. If you don't know, one thing is that Roman gods are similar to the Greek gods. So basically, for example, Zeus, okay, for example, like Zeus, okay, Hera, Mars, Athena, all of them, okay. But since they are Roman gods, okay, their names are changed, okay. For example, like Zeus, okay, in Greek they are known as Zeus, but in in Roman name, the name is changed to Jupiter. Okay, they are changed to the names of planets. Okay, because if you think about it, okay, in both Greek, okay, Athena is okay. Athena is not a planet's name, but Mars, okay, Mars is a planet name. Okay, so like there's a lot of uh, there's a lot of name changes, but you can get the idea. Okay, so okay, just to talk a bit. Okay, so this one over here is the goddess Athena. This one here is the goddess Venus or Aphrodite. Okay, and this one maybe they are these two, they are gods also, but they are different gods. Okay, maybe from other religion. Okay, and it's very fun to play it because they how should I say, you'll cry a lot. Okay, because in the first part of the game is that they talk about the curse of Medusa, and a girl, one of the girls, okay, one of the human girls, okay, they got cursed with the curse of Medusa, and she turned into like a Medusa monster. And the thing is that everybody is turned into stone. Okay, whoever that she looked will turn into stone, and she doesn't want to do that. Okay, and halfway around the curse, she wanted to kill herself, and she tried to take like a sword or something to stab herself, and the sword actually turned into sand. Okay, so she have to like suffer, and suffer and having the guilt of killing people. And the main character, which is the god, okay, actually freed her from the pain. Okay, it's not like he killed her. Literally, she took off the curse of Medusa because he is good friend with Medusa. Okay, and after you play that, after you play that, you really feel that that it's a very touching story, and that's only the first part. Okay, and if you continue playing it, there are also other um very heart touching moment. Okay, and if you played it finish and you played the sequel to it, which is Kyonya Fantasy 3 If Medusa no Yagai, basically Medusa's Wish. Okay, it's even more sad because you found out that Medusa, for 500 years loved the main character, but at the end the main character was basically dead. Okay, and she feel that it's her fault for all of this. Okay, it's an amazing game it's an amazing Aero game that you fall in love with the story. That, to be honest, I've played that scene for over 100 times. Okay, I played Kyonya Fantasy 3 Kyonya Fantasy 3 If so many times. I can still remember the scenes, and the line that they said. Okay, because to me, I really enjoyed it. Okay. Okay. Now, back to OreImo. Okay, my thoughts on OreImo. OreImo is to me, it is a great anime to those who are already interested in the otaku lifestyle. Okay, and for me, it's where my tsundere preference really got supplanted. Okay, because of her. Okay, and after that, even though the voice actress for Kuroneko, okay, Hanazawa Kana, is much more famous than Kirino. Okay, but since I'm a big fan of Kirino, okay, that I couldn't bring myself like to really enjoy her because of this. Okay, and the reason why I played the reason why I'm talking about OreImo this time is because I'm playing World of Final Fantasy and she's voicing Tama. Okay, the voice actress for Kirino and for Tama is the same person. Okay, and that's basically the reason why I decided to talk about OreImo. Okay, and um yeah, and here in a sense that it shows, for me this anime actually shows, how much uh otaku culture is being hated in Japan. Okay, although although there's like, this is an eye opener for me. Okay, but there are more animes that further stigmatizes, that shows the stigma of the otaku culture being the hikikomori and stuff. But if you but that's for later on. Okay, this is, much more lighthearted. Okay. Mm. But one more thing, I also want to talk about the other work that the author of OreImo did. But the thing is that I'm not into the other one. Okay, because the other one is, I kind of forget the title, but the then you really should watch it. Okay, because there's 2 seasons of it. Okay, the first season is much better, but the second season, it's, how should I say this, it's much shorter. Okay, but watching the first season is more than good enough. Okay, to tell the truth, I actually want to play the game. Okay, OreImo actually have a game. If I'm not wrong, it's on, it's on PSP or something, which is why I didn't play it, because I don't have a PSP. Okay, uh, because I've only watched the anime. I didn't play. I didn't go too much into the lore. But uh, this is another thing I say. There's a lot of dojin about this. There's a lot of dojins about this. Okay, and I don't know the true ending that the author wrote, but some say that it is some say that it is very fucked up ending. And yeah, I don't I want to play, but the thing is I don't have a PSP. If it ever gets ported, I might play it as one of the novel nights. Okay, I might play it. I'll take that bet. I will play it if it's released on PC. Okay, I'll play it. Mm. Yeah. So yeah, the OreImo, if you ask me, if you enjoy, tsundere, you'll definitely enjoy Kirino. Okay, but in a sense that other characters are pretty, they're pretty good themselves, but they're not given screen time. So for example, this one um is the Osana Jimmy, basically the childhood friend of him. Okay, and she's basically saying like, I'll do anything for you. Okay, and I'll wait for you. Okay, and Kuroneko, it seems that she's also interested in him. Okay, because, but the thing is that um she's from a poor family. Okay, and all of this cosplay thing, okay, that she did by herself, because she doesn't want to burden the family finances. Okay, and she is actually a rich lady. Okay, even though she, like this, you imagine that, oh, if she take off her glasses, she's not gonna be beautiful. But actually, this is like her disguise. And let me tell you one thing: when you see her when you see her as a normal person, in other words, when she's not wearing her otaku gear like this, you'll be like, wait, what? Okay, because there's no trace of her when she's in her, how should I say this, as the rich lady appearance. Okay. Mm. Yeah, that's why I wanted to play it, but I don't have a PSP. If they ever ported it into PC, I would play it. Okay. Mm. Yeah, so that's all for this week's OreImo. Mm. Yeah, if you, okay, OreImo, like I said, now maybe it's not that how do I say, it's not that hard. Okay, but still, OreImo, if you love anime, most probably, I think a lot of people who are in the anime community, hold this anime deep, in their hearts. Okay. Mm. So yeah, that's it for OreImo. Okay. Now, this is my schedule for the week. Okay. Well, you get it. Nothing much change. Okay. So this week, I'm gonna play World of Final Fantasy again. Like I said, I want to finish it. So I think maybe around next week we'll finish it. Okay, around next week. And the difference is that, well, it's not last week. There's not much difference. It's because on Saturday I'll be teaching English to Mizuki Upa again on her channel. Okay. And it will continue from last time. This will be my third time teaching her. Okay. And at night, Saturday night, okay. Normally this will take around 2 hours, so around 8 to 10. Okay, and then after that at 11, I'll be playing Love Holic. And Love Holic, okay, the visual novel, it's, well, the main reason I'm playing it is because Ayane Mako, okay, which basically like this game is legendary for her because this is when she got her big debut. Because Ayane Mako, in this game she did extremely well. Okay, and because her voice is on a whole new level. Her voice acting in this game is on a whole new level. But the sad thing is, she's only as a side character. Okay, that's the biggest problem. Okay, and the thing is that the company that made the game, okay, this Aero game, is that they had never made a sequel before, but because Ayane Mako did it so well, they actually made a sequel. Okay, and with her as the central character of among all. Okay, yeah. So I'll be playing Love Holic. Okay, and after that I'll be playing the sequel. Oh my god! If I say this, people will be like, "What?" The sequel is actually Mama Holic. Okay. So yeah. Okay, and next Tuesday we will be, for Geek Night we'll be talking about Recreators. Okay, Recreators is a unique anime where the best way for me to explain Recreators is, imagine Fate Stay Night. Instead of summoning servants, you'll be summoning anime characters. That's the simplest way for me to explain. Okay. So yeah, that's it for today. Okay, and tomorrow, as you can see, I'll be playing World of Fun Fantasy, and Saturday, novel night, and also if you want to watch me teach Mizuki Upa, you can I'll probably share it on the day, okay, or a couple of days before. Okay, so you can check my Twitter then. Okay, yeah, that's it for today. Bye bye.